Yeah.
Jim Hanek is there. It is. Lights are on. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. And you're feeling pretty good as we're getting closer and closer to this regional semifinal for South Range baseball.
Yeah, nice to join you guys as well.
Coach, when I last had you on and when we were talking, you talked about this pitching staff being arguably one of the best in South Range history. Since that point, too, they've definitely showcased it. From your end, what have you seen from your pitching staff, and what have you seen from the whole team getting you guys back to this point in the regional semis?
Offensively, we've started fast. We've been able to get on the board in the first inning and take the lead, and I think there's definitely something to be said for that when it's kind of a one and done scenario to be able to get ahead and, you put pressure on the other team and force them to play catch up. Our staff has done a great job at getting ahead of hitters, being able to locate not just the fastball, but to be able to locate the off-speed pitch, and be able to throw that pitch in some fastball counts and in some big situations.
I want to talk about Billy Scurpak because he definitely has been a good pitcher for you for a while. But this is the year he came in as kind of the guy, the leader of this pitching staff, and he's grown even more as a pitcher this year. What have you seen from him to just take that next step and become a leader to the other pitchers in the bullpen?
He really just some maturation. He really matured a lot from last season to this season. Was our number 2 last year. Pitched during the postseason. So, he's got some experience working for him, and he's done a phenomenal job for us this season. He really worked. He retooled some of his mechanics. Definitely changed a couple things. Definitely for the better. Gained some velocity. So, credit to him and his hard work. He sought out instruction in the off season and bettered himself year to year.
Looking at this district championship, it's another one under the belt for the South Range Raiders. How important do you think it was having that district championship be hosted at South Range and have the Raiders faithful have it be right in their backyard, or in Niles, excuse me, in Niles, just being right in the backyard, though not a far trip at all for South Range.
Oh, it's not. There's some familiarity there. We play Niles in league play, so we're on that field at least once a year, and we were there last year and won that district, and just thought that was a comfortable place for us to go and play.
You have 2 games this week. You played Walsh last night, and you play Hoover tonight. I mean, 2 T1 teams to get you ready for this regional semifinal. What went into kind of getting those games under your belt, and how important do you think those 2 games are going to be to kind of keep your guys mentally focused and get them some reps before regional semis?
It's important. You don't want to go, what would be over a calendar week, from Wednesday to next Thursday without playing. Weather didn't cooperate for us Friday, which kind of ruled out a Saturday morning game. So just kind of shopping around, looking for teams that were open, teams that wanted to play. And, Walsh sought us out, and, definitely a very, very, very good opponent. And, based off of yesterday's outcome, I couldn't be more proud of my guys. I think we played extremely well, considering who we were playing against. And, I reached out to North Canton Hoover as well. I know we were scheduled to play them in a JV contest earlier this year, and it got rained out. Just, again, one of the many days we weren't able to get a game in. But I just figured I'd reach out to them and see if they were available. And, I probably tonight, looking to get my starters, maybe a couple at bats, and then just get them out, lift them just to see a couple at bats, see some game situations, and, kind of just get them rested for Thursday.
When you're looking at the pitching end of things, just getting some arms out there before those big games. Obviously, you don't want to burn out some of your bigger arms. What are the pitching kind of look like? Is it more of just get guys innings too, just getting the arm a little bit of action prior to?
Yeah, just some guys that are deeper into our varsity pen that just we don't foresee using in the tournament, and then kind of throwing a bone to some of the better JV pitchers that we had over the course of the season, and giving them an opportunity, almost like a kind of a look ahead, so to speak, in the next year. as we're preparing, to ready up for a tournament game.
Follow up to that real quick too. I mean, in doing that, I mean, you guys have been in this situation. You guys have been playing games prior to tournament games like that before. Have there ever been instances where you've started a JV pitcher, you've started a young pitcher, and they've raised some eyebrows in those kind of games for you, and maybe you put a little bit of a check mark next to them for next season and looked at them a little bit deeper going into.
Absolutely, we played Salem last year, and that was the case. I thought the kid we threw against Salem, again, it was a a game we scheduled in between districts and the regional, and he did very well. I'm thinking, boy, this is going to look good heading into next season. So yes, to that, we have had some eyebrow raising situations.
One of the players that won Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley this year for 1 week was Stevie Rowe, and he's brought a lot to your team this year. Talk about his growth and what you've seen from his play this season.
Stevie's probably, arguably, but one of the best defensive third basemen we've had, one of the best I've seen. He does a tremendous job over there for us. He's made routine plays, and he's made a lot of incredible defensive plays this season. Stevie really worked hard this offseason, got stronger, put on some good weight, raised his strength levels, really worked on his hitting. And hitting in the meat of our order, he leads our team in RBI. I want to say he might be 33 RBI right now for us, 34, somewhere around there. But he's done a very good job driving in runs for us, and we're getting a lot of production out of him offensively.
What are some other names in this Raiders program that have really stepped up big this season and down the stretch that you've been impressed with?
My senior class, I can't say enough for those guys. Dylan Dominguez, Corey Pennick, heading up the outfield. Logan Cormell behind the plate has gotten better and better and better and better with each regular season game. Aiden English has really come on offensively. He did a tremendous job last season. Started a little slow this year, but it was one of those where I know what he's capable of doing. It's just a matter of time, and things are starting to click for him right now offensively. Not to mention what he's done on the mound for us this season as well. Him and Billy have kind of been like a two-headed monster for us. On the pitching side, Michael Markulin, who's done a great job, is our two-hitter, and at second base, he's made one error all season, and the ball was a missile that was hit at him. So, I couldn't be more. Stevie Rowe, again, at the hot corner, and Stevie's leadership too, on top of, the strength gain and the offensive development, has been a nice luxury, I guess, a necessity. We definitely needed some guys. We had, Trey Pancake and Brandon Mikos graduate last season. Jake Gehring graduate, Michael Perry. Those guys were a core group of leaders. We needed guys to kind of step in the fold, and Stevie Rowan is one of our captains, and Michael Markulin have really done a nice job there with that senior group.
When you were answering that question, you could have gone down the list of Raider players that have stepped up at one point or another this season. This program, the last 4 years especially, has been really good at having guys 1 through 9 that have been able to step up in different situations throughout the season. What makes that so good in this program? What do you think that comes from, the kids' abilities to, no matter where they are in the lineup or even if they're on the bench, they're able to contribute to this team and buy into the program's success, that any given day, any guy can go out there and succeed?
Well, I think you said it's buy-in. We've been fortunate to have kids that buy in. They buy into the team concept. You could say it's an individual game in regards to when the ball's hit at me, I either field it or I don't. There's nobody else that's there to bail me out. But it's a team game. I get a couple hitters that struggle that day, but then there's somebody else in the lineup that has a great day that kind of picks it up for them, so to speak. Our lineup, I would argue, is not a typical lineup. It hasn't been that way for a few years, and I say that there's no real drop off. It's not like we're top heavy 1 through 4, and then you see a drop. 1 through 9, we can swing it pretty well. Different degrees, obviously, but from 1 to 9, I don't know. I can't say enough. We battle at the plate. We don't strike out very much at all, which is something I'm very proud to see. We battle. We go deep into counts, and we're very selective with the pitches that we swing at. We don't chase, which is good.
Coach, we have a question in from DJ2. You talked about the two-headed monster with Billy and Aiden. Knowing how important that 1-2 punch is in the OHSAA playoffs, what advice do you give to them in relation to the ultimate goals this team has?
I mean, it's huge in the playoffs. It's huge in league play. And again, to win the league again, they definitely played a key role for us. Just, it's one game at a time. It's loser go home, winner goes on. And, it's not always the best team that wins. It's the team that plays the best that day. And I look at the region and I look at 4 teams that are all worthy. You can make an argument for all the 4 teams in our region. Boy, this is the best team. No, this is the best team. This is the best team. So at this stage, everyone's good. I look at them and tell them to welcome the challenge. That's something that they're competitors. And there's no question they look forward to going out and competing against the best. And, that day, on that particular day, you have to play well in order to advance.
That lineup that you have that you said is so unique because it's 1 through 9, no drop off. How much of an advantage is that in the tournament time? I mean, you've had to coach against teams that have that. You've had that as well. So you can probably speak from both sides, what kind of advantage that is, and then what kind of a nightmare that is to coach against.
Oh, I mean, it's an advantage from the standpoint of, you're not going into an inning, let's say with 7, 8, 9 thinking, boy, we're pretty much shot this inning. We got to kind of plan towards next inning when we get to the top of the order. So that's the luxury to have guys versatile, guys that can run, in terms of stealing bases, hit and run with, guys that can bunt. It's an advantage because kind of everything's in the fold each inning offensively. The nightmare side is, as a pitcher, you have to be careful. You have to be careful 1 through 9. There's no spot in our order where we can say, okay, you know what, we got these 2 hitters coming up next. We can just throw fastballs to these guys and be fine. You're forced to be able to locate. You're forced to be able to change speeds and to be able to throw that off-speed pitch and command it.
Coach, before we let you go, quickly preview this game with Gates Mills Hawken and let Raiders fans know what they bring to the table and what they should expect from their opponent on Thursday.
They're well coached. They're good. I mean, they've had a successful season, 4 losses, I believe, maybe 5. Catcher's good. Catcher has a strong arm. Catcher blocks well. I think personally he's their best hitter in the lineup. He hits 2 or 3, but or maybe 3 or 4. Sorry, but I think that they've got some guys in the lineup that can do some damage, and again they're pretty solid defensively. I really think it's it's an even matchup out there on the field, and it's going to boil down to which team makes the least amount of mistakes and which team then capitalizes on those mistakes.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today and giving us a little bit of a preview prior to this game Thursday. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we're talking about a Raider Nation being in the regional final.
All righty. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.